The Naruto universe is a large one with layers and layers of lore that is sometimes very hard to keep track of. What's even worse, I don't recall there actually being a dating system, so sometimes it can be really hard to know in what order some things occur. But fear not. I am here and I'll lay it all down for you with a nicely wrapped bow and help you to the best of my ability. Of course, a lot of this stuff is speculation since some of this needs to be based off of characters' ages and stuff, and I don't have the full picture of how old people were, especially since sometimes ages don't line up, and what more can you expect? While we enjoy Naruto like fine literature, you gotta remember that Kishimoto was writing a new chapter weekly for a time and then monthly. He didn't have time for numbers, he just wanted to draw more badass eyeballs and giant kaiju. But regardless of that, we shall do our best to form a semi-accurate and definitely coherent timeline of events to help you understand how the Naruto world works.
Welcome to the Amagi! Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Also, we just released some brand new merch. If you'd like to show your support for the channel even further while at the same time repping stylish clothing, be sure to check that out as well. The store is linked below. YouTube's been unsubscribing users from channels lately, so if you're a fan of us, please do us a favor and double check to see if you're still subscribed. It only takes a second and it helps us a ton here at Amagi. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video.
Now, for reference, before I begin, we need to come up with a way to date our calendar. To do that, we need to choose a good event with which to base everything on. For that, I'm going to choose the birth of Naruto, and that will be year 0. Anything before that we'll call BNB for before Naruto's birth, and then anything afterwards is ANB for after Naruto's birth. With that quick explanation out of the way, let's begin. Around 1000 BNB, the Otsutsuki arrive. Ishiki Otsutsuki and his servant Kaguya Otsutsuki arrive on the planet's surface where they plant the beginnings of a god tree. Kaguya is supposed to be devoured by the tree as a sacrifice to help it grow healthy and produce a chakra fruit with which to present to the main house. However, Kaguya grows greedy and seeks the fruit for herself, and so she betrays Ishiki and mortally wounds him. Ishiki only survives because a monk was walking nearby. Jigen. He would plant a karma seal on the man, finding that he's not a worthy vessel. However, beggars can't be choosers, so he takes him anyway, desperate if only to merely survive. Kaguya then begins to live among the humans in the land of ancestors, where she's brought before Emperor Tenji, whose mind she erases to hide her origin. She becomes one of his concubines and is given Aino to be her servant. It's during this time that the land of that began threatening war over a border dispute, and Kaguya fell pregnant with Emperor Tenji's children. A decree was sent out that none would attack the representatives of the land of that during their time there or they would be executed. The representatives threatened her and pushed her to self-defense, which resulted in her being chased by Tenji's guards who were ordered to execute her. Her servant Aino was killed. Kaguya would flee to the mountains where she'd proceed to find and devour the chakra fruit, awakening her Rinne Sharingan. She would cast the infinite Tsukiyomi to ensnare those who came for her and plan to turn them all into Zetsu to protect herself for when the other Otsutsuki inevitably arrived. However, her love for humanity returned, even after their betrayal. Unwilling to see the humans go extinct, she freed some of them and wiped their memories of the event and allowed them freedom. She would eventually come full term and her children would be born. Twins. The eldest she names Hagoromo and the youngest she names Hamada. Both are the first beings on Earth to be born with chakra. Kaguya's chakra. The children grew, witnessing their mother as she was both venerated and feared. However, the time came when her lust for power drove her to try and take back the power that she had given her children through birth. She would merge with the God Tree, forming the Ten Tails, and attack the land. Hagoromo and Hamada would use their powers to unleash the Six Paths Chibaku Tensei, which would remove all of the chakra from the Ten Tails and would seal its husk into the moon. Prior to being sealed back up, however, Kaguya would form a creature to bear her will that she calls Black Zetsu and tasks it with her revival. Hagoromo and Hamada would both begin to form clans, with Hamada taking his clan minus those who would become the Hyuga clan to the moon to guard the husk of the Ten Tails, otherwise known as the Ghetto Statue. Hagoromo would eventually father children of his own, twins. 2 sons, the eldest possessing his eyes, he named Indra, and the youngest possessing his heart, he named Ashura. He began to freely give chakra to the human race, teaching them how to use it to connect with each other in a style discipline he called Ninshu. His sons grew, and Indra was shown superior in abilities but lacking in morality. This would cause Hagoromo to choose his youngest son, Ashura, to succeed him as clan head and the new Sage of Six Paths. Indra would swear revenge on his father, his brother, his clan, and Ninshu as a whole, taking part of the clan with him, teaching them a new discipline called ninjutsu, a weaponized version of Ninshu. Hagoromo grew older, and eventually the time would come that he should die. Fearing that his death would mean the revival of the Ten Tails, Hagoromo used yin-yang release, creation of all things, to split the chakra of the Ten Tails off into 9 beasts, which he sent to live in temples across the world as protectors. On the moon, Hamada would also come to die, leaving behind his clan and the Tenseigan, which would be used to protect the earth by harvesting Byakugan. However, his clan split in two and began to wage war on what his will meant, with the Tenseigan being utilized by one side to destroy the other, leaving only the ancestors of Tenari Otsutsuki alive on the moon. On Earth, things weren't looking so good for the children of Indra and Asura, now known as the Uchiha and Senju clans, respectively. They wage war endlessly to the point that they forget what they're even fighting about. Approximately 75 BNB, the Warring States period's closing years. Around 25 years prior to the founding of the village, give or take a few years for error, Madara Uchiha, the eldest son of Tajima Uchiha, clan head of the Uchiha, is born. Conversely, Hashirama Senju, firstborn of the clan head of the Senju, Butsuma Senju, is also born. The year after, Izuna Uchiha and Tobirama Senju are born. Tajima would go on to have 3 more sons, all of whom die in the war, and Butsuma gives birth to 2 more sons who share the same fate. Hashirama and Madara both fight in the war but don't believe in it. They've both had enough of the endless fighting and express such through their conversations, which they have regularly in secret. But these good times do not last, as it's discovered by their fathers and brothers, and the battle lines are drawn. While Hashirama fights to preserve their friendship, Madara throws it aside and awakens his Sharingan. The two meet in battle many times, and time comes when both of their fathers pass and the title of clan head is passed on to them. The battles continue, but it becomes clear that the Senju are pulling ahead, coming from behind and winning the war. Izuna, Madara's last surviving brother, is wounded fatally, and begs Madara to continue fighting for the Uchiha clan's name. To do this, he offers his nearly blinded brother his own Mangekyou Sharingan, which Madara takes, awakening the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan upon his brother's death. Madara uses this upgrade, as well as his own unending well of rage and sorrow, to fuel the war further, but slowly he's abandoned by more and more Uchiha, who see that the war is unwinnable, and begin to defect to the Senju side. Despite Hashirama's multiple offers of peace, for the sake of Izuna, Madara refuses and continues fighting, even in the face of impossible odds. Eventually, Hashirama corners him and asks him what it will take to make peace, and Madara responds that it would require Hashirama's death. Hashirama prepares to take his own life, which touches Madara deeply, who then stops Hashirama from killing himself and consents to peace. Approximately 50 to 43 BNB, the founding of Konoha. Hashirama Senju and Madara Uchiha meet under amicable terms and decide to form a new village out of their 2 clans, resuming their peaceful friendship. The two sit atop a stone cliff overlooking their new village and speak of their past and dreams, which Madara never personally believed would ever go anywhere. A world where children would no longer have to grow up too fast and die in wars. Madara takes the responsibility of naming the village personally, and upon looking at it through the falling leaves, he decides to name it Konohagakure, or the village hidden in the leaves. The stone they sit upon is dedicated as Hokage Rock, and is eventually used to carve the faces of the Hokage in so they may always overlook the village they protected. The founding Hokage is to be decided, with Hashirama offering the position to Madara. However, Tobirama holds him off and states that the first Hokage should be elected by the people, with the majority choosing Hashirama Senju. This is the first sign of trouble for Madara, who begins to feel as if the Uchiha will forever be persecuted silently by the Senju. For a time, Madara becomes Hashirama's advisor and tries to maintain peace in his own way. However, he finds that his methods are fundamentally different from Hashirama's, with Hashirama valuing kindness and respect, and Madara focusing on strength alone. He would threaten Onoki and Mu of Iwagakure in an attempt to force them into subservience to Konoha, but such a thing would backfire on the world, as such a display gives stronger nations the gumption to attempt the same. Hashirama tries to help Madara cope with his doubts by telling him that he'll definitely be the second Hokage, but as Madara's position slowly diminishes, he feels beyond a shadow of a doubt that the role of second Hokage will ultimately go to Tobirama. He would find the Uchiha Stone Tablet, which had been altered by Black Zetsu, which made him believe that peace and the world he desired could be achieved through the infinite Tsukiyomi. causing him to desire to awaken the Rinnegan to achieve that end. Madara Uchiha, seeing no other recourse and having lost all hope in his and Hashirama's project, begins to attempt to convince the Uchiha to revolt, but they're less than willing. Having just come out of a millennia-long war in which they had lost, they weren't willing to start again. Madara would decide to do it himself, leaving Konoha. After this, Madara attempts many times to destroy Konoha, but he would return later with the aid of the Nine Tails. Hashirama would face off against this new threat, and during the course of their battle, the land is scarred, forming the Valley of the End. The two fight for well over 24 hours straight, evenly matched. Hashirama proved to have the better stamina of the two, and the moment he saw Madara unable to keep even his Sharingan active, tricked him with a diversionary wood clone and stabbed him in the back, but not before Madara bit a large portion of flesh out of his shoulder. Madara would fall to the ground dead, and his body would be turned over to Tobirama Senju, who would attempt to discover the secrets of the Sharingan from his corpse. Once he was done with the body, he would have it buried. However, Madara had set a time-released Izanagi, which would rewrite reality to revive him at the cost of one of his Sharingan. A small price to pay for a second chance at life. He would set up his base at the mountain's graveyard where he would fuse Hashirama's flesh into his own to help heal his wounds. During this time, Mito Uzumaki, a member of a clan that could be considered the best at sealing, would seal the Nine Tails into her own body, becoming the first Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed Fox. It's also during this time that Hashirama sets his sights on gathering all tailed beasts together. Tensions in the global political field rise, and a 5 Kage summit is called in which Hashirama hopes to ease relations by granting each nation a chance to get their hands on a tailed beast, with which to secure themselves and balance world power into a state of deterrence out of fear of mutually assured destruction. However, Tobirama demands payment for the tailed beasts. In response, the first Kazekage of Sunagakure requests money and more land in exchange for their tailed beast. The greed displayed in the room leads Hashirama to believe that peace between these nations would not last, and that any agreement they could possibly make here wouldn't last long. He, of course, would be right. At some point in time, Takigakure sends their agent Kakazu to assassinate Hashirama Senju, but the first Hokage manages to defend himself and drive Kakazu off. During this time frame, the academy is formed, and Hiruzen is among the first 36 to graduate. Approximately 34 BNB. The First Shinobi World War. The first major conflict since the end of the Warring States period begins. It results in the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju's, death. The title of Hokage is passed on to his brother, Tobirama Senju. Tobirama tries to help ties between the Uchiha clan and the rest of the village. He believes that they should not focus only on clan, and so to help them focus on the whole village as well as feel included, he forms the Konoha police force and puts them in charge of it. Tobirama Senju is killed by the Kinkaku force, and the title of Hokage passes from Tobirama to Hiruzen Sarutobi, who becomes the third Hokage. The First Shinobi World War comes to an end with an armistice. 24 BNB, January 25th and July 10th. Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki are born. 14 to 5 BNB, the Second Shinobi World War. The fragile peace held this long, but suddenly it breaks once more, and the Second Shinobi World War is waged. During this time, Hanzo of the Salamander faces Konoha forces and decimates them, save only Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru, who he names Konoha's Sannin for their ability to stand against him as well as they did. Don Kato, the love of Tsunade's life, perishes due to blood loss in battle, which leads her with hemophobia. A 10-year-old Kushina Uzumaki has Kurama sealed inside of her, which causes a sick and elderly Mito Uzumaki to die. In the year 12 BNB, the shinobi of Konoha mistakenly kill the parents of Nagato, causing the boy to kill them. Nagato would nearly starve to death until rescued by Yahiko and Konan. The three would seek out training from the Sannin, which causes Jiraiya to stay behind for 3 years. During the course of these 3 years, Nagato accidentally uses his Rinnegan to kill a shinobi that threatened the lives of him and his friends. This causes Jiraiya to take their training more seriously, believing they may actually become something someday. Kakashi, Obito, and Rin would join the academy during this time frame. A few years later, Sakamoto Hatake would choose to save his team over completing his mission, causing a heavy loss for Konoha, something that earns him scorn. This drives him into a state of depression, which results in his suicide. Kakashi Hatake is not the same after that, abandoning his old nindo of friends first for by the book, in hopes of avoiding his father's fate. Sometime during this time frame, the Second Shinobi World War draws to a close, offering only a short reprieve until the next conflict only a few years later. While it isn't stated when, sometime around this era and the end of the Third Shinobi World War, an elderly Madara Uchiha awakens his Rinnegan, but it's far too late for him to use them, and he transplants them into an infant Nagato, speculated to have happened around the year 19 BNB. 4-1 BNB, the Third Shinobi World War. The Third Shinobi World War begins. Team Minato become Chunin and Kakashi becomes a Jonin. Minato develops the Rasengan technique, something he teaches to his mentor. Kakashi would be chosen to lead the mission to the Kanabi Bridge, while Minato helped on the front lines. Rin is captured and Kakashi decides to leave her behind, but Obito decides that he will go and rescue her against orders, and convinces Kakashi to do the same. Obito awakens his Sharingan and Kakashi loses an eye. During a short battle with Iwanin, Rin is rescued, but Obito is crushed under rocks. He has his eye removed and given to Kakashi, something that will earn Kakashi the title of Kakashi of the Sharingan Eye and Copy Ninja. Minato returns to help his broken team finish their mission. Obito is rescued by Madara, who repairs his broken body with Zetsu flesh made almost entirely out of Hashirama Senju cells. Rin Nohara dies, causing both Kakashi and Obito to waken the Mangekyou Sharingan. This drives Obito back to Madara, who names him his successor and entrusts him with his plan before removing himself from life support and dying of old age. Yahiko, after Konan is captured, is forced to commit suicide. Nagato's Rinnegan activate and bring the Geto statue to him, causing him to murder all of Ame's forces save for Hanzo. The Third Shinobi World War ends and Minato becomes the 4th Hokage after Hiruzen steps down. 0-12 ANB. Naruto is born. Gaara is born too, and Shukaku is sealed into him during the time of pregnancy. The strain results in the death of his mother. Naruto is born, during which Obito enters the village and takes Kushina post-childbirth and pulls Kurama out. Both Obito and Kurama are defeated, but at the cost of Minato's life. Kurama is sealed into an infant Naruto. Kakashi joins the Anbu and Root, but Danzo asks Kakashi to kill Hiruzen, which he fails to do, opting to betray Danzo instead of the 3rd Hokage. Orochimaru leaves the village. Peace between Konoha and Kumagakure is a thing now. The Hyuga affair occurs and peace is now not a thing, but it can be a thing again if Hiyashi Hyuga's body is delivered to Kumo. It's not, but Hisashi's is, and peace becomes a thing again anyway. Neji hates everyone officially now. 6 ANB, Naruto and Hinata meet for the first time on their way to the academy. Itachi joins Team Ro under Kakashi, but later discovers the presence of Obito near the Naka Shrine. After receiving orders from Danzo, he is to eliminate the Uchiha save for Sasuke, and he enlists Obito to help him do it. Itachi and Obito kill every Uchiha in the compound. Sasuke discovers this and is tormented by Itachi with Tsukiyomi. Sasuke awakens his Sharingan and Itachi leaves the village. Itachi joins the Akatsuki and is partnered with Juzo Biwa. Juzo would later die at the hands of Yagata. Itachi would also be attacked by Orochimaru. He would cut off Orochimaru's hand and Orochimaru would flee the Akatsuki. Hanzo and his entire family are murdered by Nagato, now under the moniker Pain. Inari and Kaiza meet. Gato makes an example out of Kaiza, scarring all the citizens of the Land of Waves, but none as seriously as Inari. Otogakure is founded. September 10th, 12 ANB. Naruto Uzumaki's milk expires and he doesn't know it or care. He will soon. 13 ANB. Naruto's story begins. Naruto once more fails to pass the academy test and is bummed out. He's convinced by Mizuki to steal the Scroll of Seals but is betrayed. Irika Umino saves his life and Naruto uses the multi-shadow clone jutsu for the first time. Naruto's accepted as a genin onto Team 7. They have the Bell test, which they barely pass. The Land of Waves mission takes place. Naruto awakens as Kurama's Jinchuriki for the first time. Haku and Zabuza are killed. Gato is killed. The Land of Waves is freed and their bridge is completed. The Chunin exams occur and Team 7 is allowed to join. During the Forest of Death test, Naruto awakens his version 1 cloak and Sasuke is branded with the Curse Mark of Heaven. Naruto meets Jiraiya for the first time. The Chunin exams are interrupted and Hiruzen is killed by Orochimaru. Naruto and Jiraiya go off to recruit Tsunade. Itachi returns to the village with Kisame in tow searching for Naruto. Sasuke loses a fight to Itachi and his hatred is rekindled. Jiraiya begins the process of teaching Naruto Rasengan, a move he only completes in his battle against Kabuto. Tsunade becomes the 5th Hokage. Sasuke, after having been beaten by the Sound 4, leaves the village. Naruto joins a squad to bring him back. The Sound 4 are killed in battle. Naruto and Sasuke have their confrontation at the Valley of the End. Sasuke officially joins Orochimaru, and Naruto leaves Konoha for a time to train with Jiraiya. 14-15 ANB. Interlude. Naruto trains with Jiraiya to control his tailed beast. He masters the version 1 cloak to its fullest extent, but fails to master version 2 in any capacity. Gaara becomes Kazekage. The Akatsuki begin their hunt for the tailed beasts in earnest. 16 to 17 A and B, Naruto Shippuden. Naruto returns to the village with Jiraiya and reunites with Kakashi and Sakura. They hold another bell test, which Kakashi surrenders when Naruto threatens to spoil the ending of the newest Icha Icha novel. Konohamaru begins training to master Rasengan. Gaara is kidnapped. Team 7 is sent to save Gaara, but are too late as his tailed beast has been extracted and he's perished. He's revived by Chiyo at the cost of her own life. Sasori dies, but not before telling them where they can find Orochimaru. The Tenchi Bridge recon mission occurs. Yamato is in charge, but his cover is blown. They find Sasuke, but Sasuke betrays his friends for Orochimaru once more. Team 7 returns to the village defeated. The Akatsuki suppression mission begins and Naruto begins training to perfect his new technique, the Rasen Shuriken. Asuma Sarutobi is killed. Naruto finishes his technique and joins the mission to kill the Akatsuki. He kills Kakazu. Shikamaru decapitates Hidan and buries him alive as revenge for killing Asuma. Sasuke betrays Orochimaru and kills him before forming Team Hebi to search for Itachi. Kabuto grafts Orochimaru's tissues onto himself and learns Sage Mode from the Snake Sages. Konoha is informed that Sasuke has killed Orochimaru and is making his way to find Itachi. They head out to intercept. Sasuke fights Deidara, who kills himself in an artful explosion rather than being killed. Manda is fatally wounded, cursing Sasuke with its last breath before dying. Sasuke finds Itachi and the two battle. Sasuke loses, but Itachi succumbs to his fatal illness. This gives Sasuke a W by default, the best way to win. He's told the truth by Obito and switched the target of his vengeance from Itachi to Konoha. Team 7 once more returns home empty-handed. Jiraiya is sent to Amagakure to uncover more information on the Akatsuki, but finds more than he bargained for and is killed by Pain in his 6 paths. Naruto is informed and laments his mentor before training to master Sage Mode himself on Mount Myoboku. Pain attacks Konoha and decimates it, killing many there. One of these 6 paths is killed by Konohamaru, who strikes it with his first successful Rasengan. Naruto returns to Konoha and beats most of the paths of Pain, except for Diva, whose brutality pushes him into version 2 and a partial transformation. Naruto's seal is reinforced by the spirit of Minato. Naruto meets his father for the first time. Pain is defeated. After a conversation with Naruto, he sacrifices his life to bring those killed in the village back to life. Naruto is hailed as a hero, but Tsunade falls into a coma and is replaced by Danzo. Danzo travels to the 5 Kage summit in the Land of Iron. Naruto is beaten senseless by Karui for protecting Sasuke. Naruto heads to the Land of Iron to beg the Raikage to grant Sasuke leniency, but is denied, causing Naruto to suffer a panic attack. Sasuke attacks the 5 Kage summit, searching for Danzo specifically. He faces the Raikage with his newly awakened Mangekyou Sharingan. Raikage sacrifices an arm just to punch Sasuke in the face. Worth it. Obito declares the 4th Shinobi World War. Sasuke hunts down Danzo and assassinates him. Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi find Sasuke, and Naruto battles him again. It ends in a draw, with Sasuke going blind from overusing his Mangekyou, and Naruto is poisoned from Sakura's failed attempt to kill Sasuke. Naruto is sent away to an island to train with Killer Bee, and Sasuke transplants Itachi's eyes into his head and gains the Eternal Mangekyou Sharingan. Kakashi is declared the 6th Hokage in lieu of any other candidate. Obito makes a deal with Kabuto in exchange for his Edo Tensei. Naruto faces the darkness in his heart and subdues Kurama. Tsunade wakes up from her coma and joins the war. Naruto senses the war and joins in. Naruto beats Pain once again and then frees Itachi from Kabuto's control. Sasuke meets up with Itachi's Edo Tensei and together they beat Kabuto. Sasuke revives Orochimaru in hopes of learning what it means to be a shinobi from the Edo Tensei of the first 4 Hokage. Naruto helps rid the allied shinobi forces of the Zetsu imposters. Naruto faces off against Obito with the help of Kakashi, and together they discover his identity. The Ten Tails is revived and Madara and Obito team up. Neji Hyuga dies, saving Naruto's life. Obito absorbs the Ten Tails. Sasuke shows up to the battle with the original 4 Hokage. Together with Naruto, Sasuke manages to pull the Ten Tails out of Obito. Obito has a change of heart and plans to revive all those he killed in the war, but is forced to revive Madara instead by Black Zetsu. Madara mortally wounds Sasuke and absorbs the Ten Tails himself, removing Kurama from Naruto in the process. Obito manages to take some of the Ten Tails as well as Kurama's yin half and seal it into Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke both have visions of the Sage of 6 Paths and receive some of his power. Sasuke awakens a Rinnegan and Naruto awakens 6 Path Sage Mode. Together they fight Madara. The moon rises and Kaguya takes over with Black Zetsu's help. She casts the infinite Tsukiyomi. Only Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, and Obito escape with the help of Sasuke's Susanoo. They travel through various dimensions to fight Kaguya. Obito sacrifices himself to save Naruto. Together, Team 7 seals away Kaguya and frees the tailed beasts. Team 7 returns to their home dimension, but Sasuke captures the tailed beasts and refuses to undo the infinite Tsukiyomi, planning to rid the world of both beasts and Kage. Naruto faces off against him at the Valley of the End. Both lose an arm. Sasuke relents and frees the beasts from their Chibaku Tensei and frees all shinobi from the infinite Tsukiyomi. Kakashi pardons Sasuke. Sasuke leaves the village to make up for his mistakes. 19 ANB, Naruto, the last movie. Toneri Otsutsuki is the last member of his clan on the moon and decides to destroy the earth, believing it's Hamada's will. He decides to take Hanabi's eyes to accomplish this, as well as taking Hinata as his wife. Shikamaru is tasked by Kakashi to take a squad up there to rescue Hanabi. They discover graves and learn Hamada's true will. They're attacked by Toneri, who kidnaps Hinata. Naruto realizes that he loves Hinata and sets out to save her. He crashes the fake wedding and fights Toneri. Toneri is beaten and his Tenseigan fade away as Hinata reclaims her sister's eyes. Toneri tries one last-ditch effort by absorbing all the Byakugan on the moon, but it gets out of hand. Naruto saves him and shows him Hamada's true will. Toneri stays behind on the moon to protect Earth. Naruto and Hinata are married not long after, and Boruto is born before the end of the year. And that is the entire series of Naruto, in as straight of a timeline as I could make. If I missed anything, my apologies. If I got times messed up as well, remember that Naruto's timeline is a mess, and we're just trying to make sense of it.
Did you enjoy our video? Well, then be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.